Guys, welcome back to another episode. Today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to go through like a day in the life / full day of eating. Today is Wednesday, the 30th of July. We are probably about 5.5 weeks out from our first show of the season. It's going to be quite a long season. So this is just like our first show, where the goal is obviously to come in as good as I can be, but we've still got to hold a few percent in the tank for the rest of the season. So it's not going to be 110% peak, you know. It's our first show of the season, like it was in 2023, where we're going to be trialing things out. Obviously we're trialing the peak, seeing how that goes, and then running into the next shows of the season. It's not like I'm just doing one show this season. So that is the goal. You know, if anything, Luke said, you know, you'll probably be 2 to 5% off peak condition in this first show. So we're just kind of riding into that. But today we'll go through what I get up to in a normal day, really. To be honest, it's probably going to be quite boring. My day in the life, every single day is pretty much exactly the same for me. All I kind of do is bodybuilding and work. That is literally it, with a few things thrown in the mix. Nothing crazy, so apologies if it is quite boring, but it is what it is, you know. Especially in prep, you know, my focus anyway, my main priority is bodybuilding. Some people might have maybe something against that. I know a lot of people like have the priority as being business. I do kind of run 2 businesses as well, but they're basically there to sustain my bodybuilding, and bodybuilding comes first, and always has done and always will do, for the length of time that I bodybuild for, because that's my main priority, my main passion. So you know, we try and recover as much as possible in the day whilst getting work done. So that's kind of what we're going to go through today. It is about 6 in the morning right now. I had my coffee this morning, health sups, hydrate. Just had my like pre-workout shake, ESN, best sups on the market right now. So I always have like about 700 ml before I train, or before I do cardio, like today. So the shake that I have in the morning, we have 20 grams of glutamine. I have 10 grams of creatine in here, and then 10 grams of creatine in my intra-workout. So 20 grams of creatine a day. The reason for that, some studies have come out to say that having a bit more creatine is not actually a bad thing, especially if you think the studies that were done on creatine saying having 5 grams a day is all you need. That's obviously done on like an average person who probably doesn't train, doesn't bodybuild. It's probably like 90 to 100 kilos. I'm guessing there, but you know, in terms of an average person, that's probably what you're looking at. I'm obviously not kind of average in terms of size and height and what I do bodybuilding wise, so having more is only going to be beneficial, and the benefits that come from creatine are endless, as we know. 2 servings of electrolytes. What else do I have? Vitamin C, so about 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. My daily product from ESN, and I think that's it. So the difference from like a pre-workout for cardio and a pre-workout for training is basically I have Crank Pump Pro in this before training, and obviously none before cardio. So yeah, we just got to the gym. We downed that on the way, as I always do. We're going to get cardio done, 40 minutes of cardio, half an hour steps, posing, ab work, and hopefully I can take you all through it. So we're going to get into it. I'll see you in there. Right guys, cardio done. As you can probably see, aim for cardio, right now is like 550 to about 600 calories burned across the 40 minutes. Heart rate is up and down at the moment just because I'm fitter, I'm healthier, so my heart rate's starting lower. I always get up to about 132, 133, but on average it's probably like 128. Which, to be honest, I could probably get away with doing, you know, just over 115, to be honest, and still burn the same amount of fat. So my aim is calories now with cardio, just to keep my mental state good, because if I didn't hit like an average of 130, I would lose my head pretty much, and it would be a bad day. So, you know, Luke said not to kind of worry about that, as long as you're working hard, as long as you're sweating. You know, my hoodie's completely drenched, and body weight's still dropping, so that's the main thing. Now we're moving on to some ab work, so I'm just going to find a rope. So in terms of ab work, right now, what I've been doing from the very start of prep is the same as what I'm doing right now. So every single rest day, I don't do this on training days, so every other day, three days a week, I will do abs. Just like a mini ab circuit basically. So we do 3 sets, 3 sets of rope crunches, and then 3 sets of lying leg raises. 15 reps on each, just making sure we're getting contraction, a good stretch. I'm putting the abs through a bit of torture for a few minutes. Normally takes about 5-10 minutes to do this. It's nothing major, but just staying on top of that and bringing out some detail in the midsection as well. At this stage in prep, my fucking pants are literally would drop if I took these shorts off, because my waist just goes. These are still off-season underwear, so I kind of bring out. I have like a set of prep underwear which is like a size down, so it actually fits around my waist. So I think I'm gonna have to bring them out soon. So I'm gonna get into this. Obviously, goal with rope crunches, you still want to go heavy. So I'll do like pretty much the whole stack, like 3 up from the bottom. Still want to go as heavy as possible. You know, you still want to train the abs as such. You know, if it's too easy, you're not going to get anything from it, especially if we're just doing it 3 days a week. But so yeah, I'm getting into it. I'll show you I'm literally just going to show you 1 set of rope crunches, 1 set of lying leg raises, because it's pretty much boring after that. So we'll get into it. Main goal, I'll just talk you through main goal here. You want to kneel pretty far away from the stack, arch the back at the start, which is stretching my midsection, and then as we come down, I'm rounding my back over and crunching down and stretching, crunching, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. And then we go straight into lying leg raises. Hopefully you can see me. I'll get the camera on this. And that's us. The aim for me on leg raises is basically to bring up the very lower part of the midsection. Right at the bottom, we've got like a part where majority of my midsection comes in at the top and middle, and then it's always the bottom bit which is stubborn. That's just because obviously you hold the last bit of body fat there that you're trying to get off. So we're just trying to develop that a bit more. Well, I can feel it, you know, coming through. So skin's definitely getting tighter around that section of the midsection. So that's it. I'll do that another 2 times, and we'll go and hit some steps. Right guys, cardio done. It's now 9 o'clock in the morning. We have just come out of Sainsbury's, so I've just done a food shop. I'm yet to do like an actual physical in the shop food shop. I just don't know if they like people filming there, to be honest. I haven't asked, but I kind of like to just get it done and get home really. So I will go through what I got at Sainsbury's when we get home. But yeah, cardio was good. 40 minutes done. Ab work, which I've shown you, and then posing. Did about 2 or 3 rounds. Did a round of the posing routine as well, which I'm looking forward to kind of showcasing that at the show, or shows, because I'll probably do the same routine for this season. It's definitely up there with kind of what I want to showcase in terms of a posing routine, and it kind of matches my physique and matches my personality and how I go about bodybuilding, how I train, everything like that. So I'm just it was very easy for me to kind of choreograph it myself. I call it choreograph, basically just hitting shots, but going through that was pretty easy just because I like the music. I'm into kind of that kind of style of the genre of music for that. But yeah, on the way home, 9 o'clock, gonna get home. Like I said, go through this food shop with you, show you what I get for the next. It will be, because today's Wednesday, so this will cover me for the next 4 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah, 4 days, and then I shop again on Sunday. So every single week, always shop on a Wednesday and a Sunday. Doesn't matter what. So yeah, I forgot where I was because the camera cut me off because of my storage. Just had to delete some stuff in my deleted folder. But yeah, on the way home, go through the food shop, shower, eat meal 1. I'll take you through meal 1, not as in depth as like a full day of eating, because we're kind of going to be talking about other stuff today. But I'll kind of show you what the meal is, as I eat it pretty much on every meal. I've just picked up some pineapple to have on the way home. Sometimes after cardio I like to have some fruit on the way home. No real reason, it's just one of my routines in prep. I've talked about this before, and I know some people, I'm sure there's a lot of people who disagree with me and who say you need to track every single thing that goes in your mouth, which I get, which I do understand, and I do that. But when it comes down to like fruit and veg, in any of my preps, I've never ever tracked, like macro tracked my veg. So if you saw my kind of full day of eating in terms of my spreadsheet that I have for my nutrition, it's all my carbs, proteins and fats. I don't have any veg or fruit on there except for bananas. That's kind of like the only fruit I track, because that's kind of what I was told at the start when I started with Luke, was to really just track bananas, and that's what I've stuck with since then. And we've competed 2 seasons now. Each season being able to get in, condition inside out, glutes inside out peeled. We've had no issue with condition. So You know, for me, I start it kind of in the off season, at the back end of the off season, and I work it through the whole of prep. I never change it. Obviously, as carbs decrease, I will increase veg and fruit. You know, but I'm always kind of cautious. You know, I never really, if body weight started to move up and conditions started to, you know, disappear, I wouldn't then just carry on eating it. I would obviously cut that out. But body weight seems to move down, conditions gets better each and every day, and I'm keeping these things in, like, you know, mixed berries, like the little, you know, serving of pineapple isn't gonna, you know, it's not gonna touch the sides, you know. So and it's basically just fiber anyway. When we go to the toilet, it comes out anyway, so eventually, you know, that's, I remember on my 2023 prep, I used to have a punnet of grapes every single day at the back end, just as, you know, snacks, something to snack on. So I do like to keep it in. Like yesterday, you can get those tins of like fruit in juice or syrup. Obviously I'm not going to get syrup, but I get the peaches in juice, which I'll show you when I get home. And you know, I might have just one of those a day after one of my meals. If it's a low meal, I'll just have some fruit next to it. So, you know, whether that will change when I get older. Obviously my digestion and metabolism right now is on overdrive because of my age, and everything works fine with that. But I know people like, for instance, John Jewett, you know, if you watch some of his full days of eating, he's so meticulous, even down to like asparagus and courgette, he'll weigh it out. But that then comes into a point of you got to think about how old he is in the sport, how long he's been doing it for, how long he's been pushing food, you know, digestion issues with kind of, if he was to start pounding fruit and veg without tracking it, he'd run into probably digestive issues with that, which would cause bloating, which would cause water retention, everything like that. So you've got to take that into account as well. So I don't really stress too much about it. I just keep it consistent. That's my main thing. And then when it gets to about 1 or 2 weeks out, I take it all out, and then I'm stuck with kind of very, very minimal veg. When we do carbs up, I don't have any carb ups, I don't do any veg. You know, so all that comes out. It's only when my food is low that I kind of add the fruit and veg in. And I think in terms of, you know, your fruit and veg, if you're not having fruit and veg in prep, if you're not, you should be. You got to think about your immune system as well. Our immune system in prep is down and out because of how lean we get, and you know, we're pushing our body to the extreme every single day, and you know, body fat levels are low, energy's low, but we're still putting the work in, we're still overriding that and doing what our body doesn't want to do, you know. So immune system is fighting us, and the least we can do is get our fruit and veg in, because the vitamins and minerals that we get from fruit and veg is crazy. You know, you just got to make sure, you know, you're keeping the colours, a mixture of colours with your food as well. So don't just have green veg, have red, green, yellow, orange, you know. Different fruit and veg colours as well do help, because they hold different vitamins and minerals in them. So that's, you know, one of the things why, you know, I notice when I start increasing my veg and fruit, my skin gets so much better, my hair gets so much better, everything like that, because you're constantly feeding the body with vitamins and minerals, as well as not pounding the body with just carbs, fat and protein, which, you know, the off season, that's why you get kind of that puffy look in the off season, you know, because essentially your body's not in the healthiest spot. Where right now I'm probably a bit too lean to be in that kind of healthy spot, but around like when you're 9 weeks out, you know, I said to someone the other day, you know, if I wasn't bodybuilding, I'd stay at about the 10 to 9 weeks out look, because that's probably where my body's healthiest. It's where the body weight for my height is at its probably best. That's where I would live if I was a non-bodybuilder, at that kind of percentage in terms of body fat. So yeah, on the way home, and we'll see you when we get back. Right then, unbagging of the food shop. So let's go through it. Always a full bag for just 4 days. but we still eat a lot of food, even on prep. So first up, wholemeal. I like to switch to wholemeal during prep. No real reason. Well, only reason is I'm having a bagel, just one bagel, which is in my meal one. And obviously you only get 2 slices with one bagel. If I turn to wholemeal, I get 3 slices. So just more volume, more bread, more toast. Who doesn't want more toast? Since we were talking about fruit and veg, mushrooms, so these go in my breakfast meal, as well as salad tomatoes as well. So I have 2 of those, 1 mushroom. So staple in my breakfast. Rice cakes, these are my go-to. The Callow organic rice cakes, always. I'm having rice cakes every single day at some point in the day at the moment, and especially for carb ups as well. So I like to get the body used to it, even if it's literally just rice, but you know, keep that consistency during prep. Chicken. So I'd probably go through about, how much is in here? 640 times 2 in about 3 or 4 days. So that will do me for that. Courgettes, again, these go in meal 1 with my egg whites. So in the egg whites, mushrooms, tomatoes, and courgette. So 2 packs of courgette. I have 1 courgette as well in that meal. Phage, Greek yogurt. This goes in meal 1 as well. So a lot of the stuff I'm kind of topping up on is like meal 1 food. You know, I've obviously got a big bag of rice that I get from the Thai shop, jasmine rice, which is like a big 10-20 kilo bag, and then it's kind of just bits and bobs that I pick up, you know, midweek and on Sunday. So phage, I'll go through that in about in 4 days as well. So 300 grams of phage per day. We've got finally found, they put this back in. Oh no, this is the salted caramel. I didn't even mean to get this. This is the salted caramel peanut butter. Why did I get that? Okay. We won't be able to use that, I don't think. Might be able to macro that, I don't know. But that's the whole earth. I just saw the whole earth drizzle. I didn't look, didn't see it was salted caramel. So we probably won't be able to use that, unfortunately. Go to Aldi anyway and get some drizzle peanut butter for like £2. That was like £3.40. So jam goes on the rice cakes, in my oats, in my designer rice pudding from ASN. Bananas, top up on that. 1 or 2 of those a day. I've kind of gone off bananas recently. I don't know why. I think maybe just the texture of it. I haven't really been enjoying during prep. So I'll either have 1 banana, or it works out to be 3 rice cakes and like 17 grams of jam. It's about 27 grams of carbs. So I'll either have either or those. So these are the peaches that I was talking about. They come in those tins in juice. So like I said, you know, no sugar added, literally just peach. I'll probably have 1 of those with meal 1 as well. Got some beef, topped on beef, only like 250 grams, but I only have beef on my training day at the moment. And I've got some beef in the fridge. Cod fillets, frozen. Always get the frozen in terms of cod fillets and fish. It's actually fresher than what you would get on the aisle in the cold section, because obviously, you know, it's caught at sea, it's prepped, and then it's frozen straight away, instead of the travel that it makes, that the fridge cod makes, is obviously, you know, it's going to downgrade the fish, whereas this is pretty much bang on frozen since it came out the sea. So, you know, you're getting it more fresh. I love cod, probably one of my favourite protein sources that I use off season and prep. Off season mainly for digestion purposes, just from a case of I can digest that better than chicken in the off season because of how high food gets. And then I just keep it consistent in prep and have 1 or 2 meals with cod. Like today, rest day, 2 meals of cod, 1 meal of chicken, and then the others are whey, and my eggs as well. Frozen berries, have this for meal one as well. A lot of these things are for meal one, but frozen berries on my yogurt, pretty much. Some dishwasher tablets, pasta as well. If I want to change from rice or potato, basically my three main carb sources through the day. I mix it up. I do have a variety. I don't just eat chicken and rice every single meal. You know, I might have pasta and I like to have pasta and beef. So my beef mince, I make pasta with that. It's just another carb source. You know, it doesn't kind of cause any issues with that, any with digestion or anything. You know, could you say rice was a cleaner carb? Maybe, but it's still just a carb. You know, so, and then of course the OGs, good old White Monster, to top us up for the week. So that is about 3 or 4 days worth of food, and I think that's like a bit of everything really. There's nothing really that stands out in terms of like what I haven't shown you that I'm eating. The fridge is pretty much bare at the moment. Potatoes, courgette. I use the 50% less sugar, salt, ketchup on pretty much every meal. I do have some HP sauce on my eggs in the morning, and then those are the egg whites I'm using at the moment as well, no yolks, which are pretty good, cheaper than the ones you buy from the shops, cheaper than like 2 chicks, which is ridiculously overpriced, and I'd have to use a carton a day, which is just mental, which works out to be like probably £15-16 a week on egg whites, so that's much cheaper. So yeah, we're gonna get a shower, get into meal one. I'll show you meal one at the end, but that was today's food shop. Right guys, just to walk you through this meal one. So we've got, I'll show you that, 300 grams of egg whites. We've got courgette, mushrooms, tomatoes, 1 whole egg, 4 slices of a very thin wholemeal toast. So I get 4 slices instead of 1 bagel, which just makes it nicer. It's like 9 grams of carbs per slice. And then we got 54 grams of oats and 22 grams of jam with some stevia in, and then 300 grams of phage with mixed berries, and then a small black Americano, because I'm going to eat, well, every single Wednesday I go out with my nan. We go out for a coffee, catch up, weekly catch up every single Wednesday. We've done this for years. It's just a routine in the week where we know on a Wednesday at 11:15 is the time we see each other. Doesn't matter what's happening in the week. I see her, you know, a few times a week, but that's like our priority, that we at least get that time. She's probably one of the most important persons in my life, most important people in my life. So give her the time of day, get a catch up in, see what she's up to for the week, and yeah, have a coffee as well. So little coffee with eggs, because I just like to have coffee with eggs, just like the combination. We'll get this in, and then we'll probably see you back here, or wherever we're going next. Right, we are back in the car, back on the move. Just been for coffee with Nan, which was nice. Catch up, black Americano, then flew home, cooked my next meal number 2, which I've got with me next to me, which we're going to have later on today. But while we're in the car, we are on the way to see one of my friends that trains at the gym. He's got a chiropractor business, and I went to see him last week on Wednesday, because I've had a niggle in my hamstring pretty much through the whole of prep, and haven't really been able to load this hamstring, which was my right one. It started like a few weeks into prep, to be fair. Once I started doing like daily cardio on the bike, just that movement of coming around with the feet and using the legs has caused like a niggle in my glute and hamstring, which is not ideal. So I basically can't load it, or haven't been able to load it for the majority of prep really on hamstring movements like lying hamstring curl and standing hamstring curl. My hack squats have been fine, no issues there at all. And then just like my range of motion on the leg press has been a bit limited, but I'm just hitting quads on the leg press, so it hasn't been too bad. I've been able to kind of continue progressing and everything with that. So it's basically just my hamstring movements. Yesterday was like the first session where I actually could take or put some load on my hamstring, because I had some work done on last week, and he was able to kind of realign things, get right in there in the glute and hamstring, and try and sort it out. He knew exactly what the issue was, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He's very, very detailed about his job and how he goes about things, so it was good to see him. So that is on the mend. Obviously my main goal with that hamstring is to get it 100% by the time I get on stage, because obviously flexing the hamstring, in majority of poses, and I don't want that to be an issue. I don't want it to be on my mind as well, because obviously it's going to limit me being able to contract my glute, to be honest, when I kick back that leg, because it's my right leg, so I kick that back on like a back double bicep, rear lat spread and everything like that. So I want it fixed by then. In terms of training, I'm fine. I can get through that with training. Obviously now it's just about maintaining the muscle tissue and putting some tension through it, so I can use lighter loads and still take it to failure and still cause that stress on the muscle, or enough stress. So that's kind of fine. We just got to keep working on it. So I'm going to him every week now until show day really. And he actually said last time I was there, he was like, if you need me on show day, then he'll be there, and he'll before stage he can kind of loosen me off and kind of adjust things, ready to kind of get on stage. So that was really cool. Really appreciate the help that he's offered, which is just great to have those kind of people around you and in your circle who just want the best for you and want to do things for you. So that's nice. But on the other hand, I came out of last week, which was Wednesday, and I trained delts on Thursday morning, which was fine. And then after delts, my right delt was in bits. Now I don't know why. It's not like, because I'd expect to get a niggle around like off-season training. If I was to get a niggle, it would be in the off-season when I'm pushing and doing something different, because always my goal in the off-season is to do something new that I've never done before in terms of training and in terms of hitting sets and hitting reps. But now in prep, just trying to maintain loads and even drop down a touch in load just to mitigate any injury or niggle. And my right delt since Thursday has been in bits really. It's kind of like the bone, like the collarbone, which is sore. It's like tender right now. It's not actually like muscle, but obviously there is going to be a bit of damage to the muscle, I think, as well. So I don't know whether that was done, or that the session I did with in the chiropractor moved things around a bit, because he did work on my shoulder, because this shoulder, another reason why I went to see him, well, kind of the main reason actually, the hamstring is not the reason I went to see him. The main reason why I went to see him was my alignment. So my right delt actually sits higher than my left delt. So when I'm posing or just standing there, I'm a bit wonky from side to side. So that was kind of his main goal that he wanted to work on with me over the next couple of weeks, was my alignment and spine alignment, and dipping this shoulder, bringing this shoulder down, because at the moment it's quite hinged at the top from my with my trap as well being tight. So I think he did some work on that. So I'm thinking maybe just the new work that's being put on it. We did a lot of he had me in like a position like that, and then obviously putting his weight on me and cracking me. And maybe that has something to do with it. It was just every position I was in, it was a new position, and everything he was doing was new. So I'm going to ask him about it today, see what he says. So that's the plan. But we are on the way there now. It's about a 45-minute drive. So like I said, I've got a meal with me, so I'll get there, get the treatment done, and then we'll have a meal, obviously show you what that is, and then we'll be on the way back home, because I haven't started work yet. So I've got work backed up in terms of client work, client check-ins, and I need to do some menu work as well for the weekend for my private chef business. So I've got three events on this weekend: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I need to plan them out, because otherwise it's too much for me to kind of deal with in my head. They need to be, I'm pretty old school when it comes down to that business, whereas everything needs to be written down on an A4 side, so that I've got it written down and out of my head, literally, so I can just look at it and know what I need to do. Basically going through like ingredient list, sorting out menu, and then mise en place, which is basically what prep needs doing for each event, and timing wise and everything, and sorting all that out, just so I can play it around in my head and make sure that the routine works and everything coincides with that as well, because obviously bodybuilding and prep is obviously at the forefront. That is priority, so bodybuilding comes first in my life, and kind of business and everything comes second, even though obviously, like I said this morning, the businesses I wouldn't be able to do bodybuilding without them. So we need to sort that out, and get them done, and then just constant kind of client check-ins, getting back to clients, training footage feedback, everything like that. So I need to box that off when I get home. We'll probably get home around 3ish, 3:30, and then from then we've got a bit of time to prep meals, and then I'm in the gym tonight on shift, 5 till 9. So I'll be based there for a few hours where I can get some work done, finish off steps, and then we'll be back home for about 9:30, where we'll get the last 2 meals in, which I'll take you through. So at least we get a bit of chill time tonight, box steps off before then, and get around to that. So Wednesday is quite a busy day. I'm just on the move all the time, all day, which is good, which I kind of like in prep as well, to be on the move and having things to do. It's good. I know for me, when I have time, like Monday, Tuesday is quite a relaxing days where I still have work to do, but I'm pretty much home based both those days. And when I get back from training, as soon as I have meal 1, I'm fast asleep, which is dangerous. So I'm still, if you watch my last prep, kind of, because I train fasted in the morning, I get home from training, have meal 1, and then usually have a nap. So I haven't had a nap today yet. I might have time to have one when we get home, but it depends what time it is and how much time I've got left. Everything's done on schedule and time. If I have time for like 20 minutes, half an hour, I will take it. Any time I get free, I'm asleep. Just from a recovery standpoint, I know it works for me, getting those 20 to 30 minute naps in. So I try and have one a day, as long as it's not too late on. If it's mid-morning, early afternoon, we're good. I never really nap past like 2 or 3 p.m, because then it obviously interrupts sleep. So yeah, that's the plan. I could ramble on for 45 minutes, but we'll leave it to it, and then I'll probably see you for my next meal. Right, we are back. Done. Chiropractor done. It was good session. Work done on my hamstring again, which is nearly there, to be fair. He said there's just a few more fibres that need to get released, which is good, so that's on the mend. And then he worked on my delt as well. He basically said it's nothing to do with what we did in the session. It's basically, he put me in a neutral position, so a different position from what I'm I was used to just walking around. Like I said, my right shoulder is raised, or was raised. Now it's neutral, so my symmetry is much better, my balance is much better. But obviously, he was saying you go back to your normal habits, your normal routine of how you work, how you sleep. So I kind of sleep on my side like that, with my arm out, which is obviously causing stress to my shoulder. And obviously, when you put the body back into like a neutral position, all the nerves and everything kind of go that way at the same time. And now my body's kind of fighting back against the nerves, which is causing the irritation in my shoulder. So we just did some work on that. I'll be there next week again to do another session, but now it's time to eat. So we are going to eat a meal. So we've got meal 2, chicken, peanut butter, ketchup. So there's about 190 grams of chicken here. Only 8 grams of peanut butter, ketchup, salt. That's kind of the first course. And then I have 59 grams of Cocoa Pops for the carbs, 1 banana, which I'll slice over the top, and then like a mid whey paste. It's like half and half, so it's not water, so it's actually sweeter than what you would get if you just made a shake and poured it over. I kind of like to make it like a mid paste, pour that over so it's a bit thicker, just nicer to eat. That's from ESN, the vanilla milk, which is really good. The pastes come out really well. So we're going to chow this down, and then shoot home, and then we'll update you when we get back. So in the gym, just having meal number 3, which is 70 grams of jasmine rice, 1 fillet of cod, veggies, nothing crazy. Fats at the moment are only 30 grams a day, so got to keep the food fairly low and in fat. So which is why I'm having like 2 chicken meals, 1 fish meal, or 2 fish meals, 1 chicken. The only fats I'm getting really is from the whole egg in the morning, and then all the other little fats across the day that you get from the chicken and things like that, and the bread and stuff. So get this meal down, then we've got a good chunk of work to do, because it is 5 o'clock now and I've been on the go since this morning, like you've seen. So this is like my only chance to get work done. So, but I know what needs to be done, and we'll get it done. So I'm going to chow down on this. We've got rice cakes as well. So instead of a banana today, I'm going to have the 3 rice cakes and 17 grams of jam. So it should be good. So coming towards the end of the day, end of this shift. 10 to 8, so we've got about an hour left. I've done majority of work now, so I've done like back-to-back dinners on the other side as well. So the three events that I'm doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday that I talked about, they're now boxed off, so a bit less stress, a bit less information in my head, which is always nice. I've just got a few check-ins to do after this meal, and then we can actually go home and chill. I've got about 1,500 steps to do, so I'll probably leave here with probably 1,000 steps to do, which is nice. Just 10 minutes of walking, that is. It's kind of how I judge steps. 1,000 steps usually takes me about 10 minutes. It's alright. Yeah, usually takes me about 10 minutes to 1,000, so an easy way to work it out if you're struggling to kind of work out your steps and scheduling so you don't fall behind. But we have now got another meal, so I am really hungry, I'm not gonna lie. Got 200 grams of chicken, 70 grams dry weight rice, and some veggies in the bottom there. That's some of my ketchup on top as well, and that'll be us. So we'll enjoy this. watch some YouTube, and then like I said, got an hour left, so I'll probably box off my checklist now, and then go home. I can feel, just to give you an insight of kind of what it feels like to be 5 weeks out. I can feel my body just burning fat right now. Just that kind of hunger where you're kind of past the point of hungry, but you're just in burning state. That's what I'm feeling right now, which is good. So we'll probably get maybe a new low weigh-in tomorrow. I can kind of guess what my weigh-in's going to be by the end of the night in terms of how I feel. I got a new low weigh-in this morning, which was unexpected actually. I didn't think I was. I went to bed quite full, to be honest, even after like 5 meals. Today's 6 meals, so theoretically I shouldn't really be down in weight. I should maybe be slightly above. I've been hungry all day today though, so my body's definitely on burning mode. We had a Five Guys on Monday night, so today's Wednesday, so I'm kind of getting the backlash of that since my metabolism probably sped up from that, which is why I saw a new low weigh-in this morning. So maybe this will carry on for the rest of the day, but definitely seen a shift in condition over the last few days as well. Drier, harder, just leaner through the glutes as well, and having a lower back starting to come in, which is all good signs, especially this far out from the stage. So it just means, you know, we'll have less time digging and more time kind of feeding up and eye days and stuff. So yeah, we'll just see how we get on. So I'm going to chow this down, and then we'll probably catch you for, we've got 2 meals left, so I'll probably catch you for another meal. Right guys, we are back to base, my favourite place to be, nice and quiet, back to my own humble abode. So we're about to get meal 5 in, but first we've got to take half of my night supplements, which is magnesium and ashwagandha, basically just to wind down over the next hour and a half, switch off from the outside world for a bit, and eat 2 meals and enjoy them. So take them now, 2 caps for each. Both from ESN. So if you want anything from ESN, go to the website, code Henry at checkout will get you a little discount as well. We've just launched a sleep supplement, actually, talking about sleep and winding down. We've actually launched that today, so that's gone out, 25% on that already. So if you want to try sleep supplement, very good one. This one doesn't contain melatonin, so it's got other factors in it, other ingredients, which look really good, so I want to try that out. I'm going to order some tomorrow with my order and try it out and let you guys know how it goes, because I don't really struggle with sleep, but I'm up a lot during the night at the moment, going to the toilet, just literally just getting rid of water, so it might help me sleep through the night, which would be good. So moving on to our meal 5 for this rest day. That's what we're looking like. We have 74 grams of pasta, dry weight, 200 grams of chicken, 7 grams of peanut butter. We've got a country mix in there, which is like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, peas, green beans, and then courgette over the top as well, and obviously some ketchup. So that's going to go down with one of my favourite beverages at the moment. This is my prep beverage, Dr Pepper Zero. That's been the one of choice this time around. I'm thinking last time around it was a Coke Zero, pretty basic. So I've switched up a bit and gone with that. That was, every time I go to Five Guys, I always get a Dr Pepper Zero as well. So it kind of stems from that. But so yeah, we're gonna get that down. Chill now until we go to bed. But I will catch you for meal number 6. Right then, last meal going down, meal number 6. Basically we've got 85 grams of oats, 45 grams of whey, 30 grams of jam, 6 rice cakes, and that's it. But what I do is I make my oats and whey into a pancake. So this is kind of what we're looking like. I basically fry it, blend it all up with some stevia, pan fry it, fold it over in half, comes out like a pancake, and then I make a whey paste. And then these are my rice cakes with jam. So this is my pre-workout meal basically. Obviously having it the night before because I train fasted. So I'll eat this, go to bed, and then train fasted in the morning. I get to the gym for about 6 in the morning, and then that's it. This is my last meal before training. I've always done that through the off season, through prep, through every single prep I've done. I've always trained fasted. Hasn't really impacted anything. My body's used to training at that time. So that's what we do. So yeah, this is the last meal. I'm gonna get it in. Appreciate you guys watching today. Hope you enjoyed kind of like a day in the life, even though my life is very boring and just typical bodybuilding lifestyle. Eat, sleep, train, cardio, meals, and then just running errands really, and working as well. So hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week.